Good evening, users. Let's see y'all here. It's been a while since I've played this, but I wanted to come back and finish this up. So this is Spare Parts. A visual novel about an absolute gay disaster and the robot ladies who are in her life now. Like, let me see what I can recall about this story off the top of my head. So this lady here, Lucy, she moved to the city a couple months ago and just felt kind of bad because she felt like she was kind of leeching off of her roommate and couldn't find a job, and she wanders into this store called Spare Parts, which is like mostly out of curiosity, and it was kind of a mess, and in there she finds this mysterious and kind of awkward lady who's like who when Lucy asks, she she just kind of like offers a job managing this store, and basically as things unfold, it turns out this lady is definitely a robot, which it's kind of not super surprising considering how kind of awkward she was. And the other big thing that happened is that Lucy here, like on her break, she just kind of goes wandering around in the building and then just finds this girl like in a cryo tube in the basement. And it's like, I'm pretty sure she's Unit 03, but the game hasn't explicitly said that yet. Well, I mean, it's come close enough, but but you know, she hasn't said it yet. And so you know, Lucy wakes her up, and the two begin to bond. They just for reasons that are not immediately obvious, she just really wants O1 to like not know they're hanging around or hanging out together or moving around, and also in the bits of data here, we the player find out, but Lucy the character does not, that O3's health has been flagging a little bit as she's been spending more time out of cryostasis and with Lucy, and I kind of have a feeling that's gonna come to a head soon. So, yep, we were at the end of chapter 3 last time. On stream with me reading out the dialogue and everything, we've had each chapter take about an hour. So I think there are 2 more full chapters and then an epilogue. And we'll see what time it is when I get finished this. I may or may not move on to the sequel and show y'all a little bit of that if I have time. But yeah, let's get going. Walking into the store the next day feels completely different. This was after like Lucy and O3 had majorly renovated the place and made it look all nice and cozy though. Like, one does not know O3 was involved in this. She just thinks Lucy did it herself. Yep, walking the store next day feels completely different. I mean, obviously the two of us put a lot of work in to make it feel completely different. But even aside from that, Chapter 4, Face Forward. Also, I completely forget what voices I was giving these characters, so, you know, I'm just gonna improvise and they may or may not match my first VOD, but eh. Good morning, Lucy. Morning! Owen is in a much better mood today. She even greets me with a smile. How's your morning going? Not bad. I almost lost track of time and missed breakfast, but I made it work. I'm glad you made it work. Yeah, me too. It's narcissistic of me to think this, but I can't help feeling responsible for her good mood. She lit up yesterday. It seems like her faith had been renewed. This changed really all because of me? Is it okay to feel this good about it? Of course it isn't, Lucy. You weren't the only person who worked hard for this. You may need to take all the credit, but you can't forget about her. That wouldn't be fair at all. Can I just feel good about this one thing? Can it be as simple as me doing a good job and making her happy? What about you? What's your plan for today? I'll be meeting with a potential business partner. Oh, that sounds important. It might be. I arranged the meeting yesterday. What kind of partner? Like for advertising or? That remains to be seen. I'd like to see what they can offer me first. I'll let you know how it goes later. Okay, sure. Good luck with it then. Try not to get arrested, which is actually something that happened earlier, and she just sort of broke out of jail and was here the next day, and so far the game has not elaborated on that. Thank you. We exchange small talk for a few more minutes and say our goodbyes until the afternoon. I wish I had more time to spend with her, actually. As much as I love meeting with my basement friend, I don't feel like I know O1 all that well. Maybe we just don't have enough in common. I'm not really sure what I'd talk to her about other than work. Even so, I really like being around her. Maybe I'll hang out longer after work today. I sink into the lobby chair with a sigh and reach out my bag. Out of it, I pull my sketchbook. I flip through all the pages until I reach the first blank ones. These still suck a lot. She wanted to see something I drew, but I don't feel like I can share any of these. Nobody's ever seen them besides me, not even Killy, her roommate. I just hope she doesn't remember it, I suppose. Or guess I could keep trying. I look around the lobby as if it were a concern that anyone would be around. Set the book on the counter, pull out my pencil, and cautiously put it to paper. My alarm goes off and I jump in my chair. A lot of my pencil breaks on the paper. It's already 1:30. I got so focused on trying to draw that I completely lost track of time. Honestly, it's probably for the best that we didn't get any customers. I might not have even noticed them. It's like, don't know how she knows she didn't miss any, but you know, they normally don't get customers in here, but also they just renovated yesterday, so who knows? We didn't get any customers, did we? No, definitely probably not. I wipe eraser shavings off the paper and look what I've been focusing on. I can't show this to her. Aww. The otter's honestly pretty cute. Oh, ferret. Why did I try drawing a ferret? I should have stuck with something I know. If I'm lucky, she'll have forgotten all about it and I can pretend this page never existed. Aw, hey, random salients. Nice to see you tonight. After burying my face in my hands for a moment, I do all my usual pre-lunch preparations and head downstairs. Without thinking, as it's become so routine to me in just a few days, press the button on her pod, take a few steps back, and start talking as it opens. Good morning, I'm back. Hello? You awake? No response. Something's wrong, I can feel it. Even if she were asleep, she'd be staring and yawning by now. She was acting weird yesterday. I wonder if she doesn't want to see me today. Should I leave? I should at least check though, right? Look, I can't see inside the pod from this angle. The pod next to it blocks me from seeing. Gotten used to stuffing back so I wouldn't watch her wake up like a creep, so I don't feel right peeking around just yet, but... Hello? I don't know what name to call out, so I trail off. There's still no response. I cautiously take a step forward. Are you awake? Do you need... It's like, oh, that's a new face. Inside that same pot I've opened the last few days, my soft orange-haired friend would emerge from is somebody completely different. She sits up and stares at me. Long purple hair, bright blue eyes, wearing an intimidating expression. Who? She's just staring at me. Now that I think about it, there are more pods than the one she was staying in, but it's this one, right? It's the center of the closed ones. First one was always open. She's always been in this one, so why? Is she inside one of the other ones? Was girl inside one of those previously? Did they switch? Why did they switch? What do I do? How do I explain this? One didn't want me down here, so what about this one? Is she gonna rat me out? Am I gonna get her in trouble too? Hello? Hi? Where's, what? You're Lucy, aren't you? Yes, how did you? O3 told me about you. Huh? O3? Is she around? Is everything okay? She's fine, I guess. What do you want from me? I don't really want anything in particular. This is just normally where she sleeps, so I came to see her. So that's why I shouldn't have listened to her. Look, she's just a little under the weather or something. Under the weather? Is she feeling okay? She's fine. It's not serious, but look, just come back tomorrow. Okay, but I didn't know anyone else was down here. Do you live with her? Are you friends? She has absolutely no patience for me, I can tell. I guess we're like sisters, I guess. I mean, that's the closest analog I can think of, but not really. Oh, I see. They're sisters or close to sisters? That mean one is the same? Are they all? Oh, well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Lucy, but I guess you already knew that. Anyway, yeah, just try again tomorrow. She can explain things for herself. Sorry. Bye. She starts to lean back into the pod. Well, wait! What? You're not gonna tell all one I was down here, are you? No, I won't. Thank you. See ya. Wait! What? I don't really know how to ask this, but... Are you in the same situation as her? Can you not leave this place? It's just... She's been telling me how lonely it is down here. I guess I just mean to say... You don't have to go if you want to talk for a little bit. You... Sorry. Huh? She hits a button inside of the pod and the hatch continues to shut until she's completely sealed away. Aww. I wanted to befriend her! The basement returns to silence, save for the usual whirring of machines. I got too aggressive, didn't I? Lucy, you're so stupid, just assuming you know things about her when you've never met. Trudge back to the exit, looking back into the room for a moment before yelling at the lights to turn off. I really want to hug Lucy right now. She really needs more self-esteem, y'all. Tips have been updated. Which I assume that just adds per info. Wearing girl. A scary looking girl who seems to have better things to do. Likes question mark. Dislikes Lucy probably. Aww. I'm back. Welcome back! Put the most sunshine into my voice that I can, but what's wrong? She reads me better than I expected. I've never been great at hiding when something's on my mind. Big same, honestly. Oh, it's nothing. We didn't get any customers today, did we? Yeah, that's it. Again with the lying. I hate this. I'm sorry. I feel like there's more I could be doing, but you've done more than I could have asked. She walks over to put a hand on my head again. Please don't blame yourself. She holds her hand there for a moment, both of us in silence. Aww. Don't look up at her, but I wonder what kind of expression she's making. Whether she's trying to find something to say, or... Aww. Head pats sound nice. She takes her hand away. When I look at her face, she's watching me with her usual blank expression. She cocks her head as I make eye contact. You're back a little bit earlier than usual. How did the meeting go? Capitalism is a broken system. Big mood! That bad, huh? I don't want to get into it. Understandable. At any rate, I've returned. If you'd like to leave a bit earlier, more than welcome to. Right, Is there something? Is there something you'd like to tell me? Huh? You usually have something to tell me when I get back. Is there anything today? Oh no, not really. Nothing like that. I see. I mean, there is something I'd like to say, but it's kind of different. Hmm. Well, I mean, I don't have to leave right away. I can stay for a bit longer. Hmm? I've been leaving as soon as you come back every day. It means we don't get to talk much, you know? Just a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the afternoon. I don't really know anything about you, so I just thought maybe we could talk some more. I mean, unless you're busy or anything. Wow, I'm really blowing this. Asking somebody to have a conversation definitely isn't the way to actually start a conversation. No, it completely is! It's like, hey, I want to talk to you. It's a perfectly good way to start a conversation as any. Especially if you have a thing you want to talk to them about. But I see. Did you have anything in mind? Is this okay? I don't see why not. Though I don't have much to say about myself. That's fine. I don't have much to say either, so this might be difficult then. Right. Okay, let's see. It's my chance. What should I ask her about? Well, I know you work a lot, but do you do anything in your spare time? I don't have any spare time. If I'm not speaking with you, I'm working or sleeping. Maybe it's the wrong takeaway, but I'm relieved to hear that she sleeps at all. What about that book you were reading the other day? That was also work. The orange-haired girl was right. She really does work herself dry. Are you okay spending all this time on work, I mean? There's nothing I prefer doing. And even if there were, it's irrelevant. My work is too important. You must really care about this place. In a sense, the shop itself holds limited meaning, but you need the money? That's right. If I don't make enough, I don't know what'll happen. I greatly dislike to think of the possibilities. Most likely, I'll lose someone I'm meant to protect. That's not an option. Is it family? Yes. I'm sort of getting the picture here. Details aside, it's clear that my basement friend is having problems with her health. Jeez, if all that equipment is for her, I can't imagine how much it must be costing them. There's one, maybe even two others. Maybe they all need the money to stay alive, so that's scary. Yeah. I mean, that's also just being a person under the American healthcare system, but yeah, it is kind of pretty grim. What are they like? What? You know, your family. I don't know how to answer that. Oh, that's okay. It's kind of a weird question, I guess. She stares to the side in silence for a few minutes. I debate whether to interrupt her with a different question or not. Sorry, I don't mean to get too personal. No, it's fine. I have 3 siblings. 3 of them, so I've met the one with orange hair, with purple hair, And there should be one more. She's Unit 01. And the orange one is Unit 03? Maybe 02 and 04 the others? Or 00? Not that I even understand what these unit numbers mean. It's really none of my business. There's no point in thinking too hard about it unless they tell me, right? What about you? Do you have any siblings? You needn't to answer that either. If it's... No, it's fine. I wish you hadn't asked that. I need to remember not to ask questions. I don't want to answer myself. We don't share blood, but I think of my roommate Killy as a sibling. They've been my family for a long time. Blood, I suppose we don't have blood either. You suppose, huh? What about parents? Humans typically have those, don't they? Hey Claire, nice to see you. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lady Linalia. I try to stream a mix of like interesting indie games and like PS2 era games, though these days it's mostly just been the former. And tonight I'm playing this visual novel about this lady on the left who's an absolute who's a human who's an absolute gay disaster, and all the robots she's meeting in her life, and it's going pretty well. Pretty well. Like this is an interesting one. What about parents? Humans typically have those, don't they? Hi, I'm a gay disaster. Gosh, I can't believe I just responded with that. What about parents? Humans typically have those, don't they? Typically yes, and I do have them technically, but I don't see them anymore. I cut off all contact with them, that's why I moved here. It's a long story, but basically they've never treated me well. Been a long time making excuses or trying to believe they cared for me, but even if that's true, I couldn't stand it anymore. If I'd stayed there for too long, I'd probably have ended up dead in one way or another. Anyway, it was Kelly who got me to see that. Can you hug her? Absolutely! And I'm gonna hug her too! You can't stop me! Actually, I want to try this now! Oh. Lucy? That is the first time I've done something like that on stream, and didn't quite work, but it was worth a shot. Anyway, it was Killy who got me to see that. They had to get away from their own home situation, so we both made plans to leave and live together to start over. They've always been there for me. They were the only real friend I had growing up, and they've always been a better family to me than my blood parents ever were. We stand in silence. It goes on for much too long. Did I make the conversation too heavy? Did I say too much? But she seems to be thinking on my words. Finally, she speaks up. I see. So, even if your parents created and raised you, they did not care for you properly? Right. And so you don't owe them your presents. Something like that, yeah. I wish I could peek into her mind right now. I really want to know what she's thinking about. She's solely responsible for her siblings, and they must have a complicated relationship with their parents too, assuming they're around. They might have passed away, or if they aren't related to by blood, maybe they never had parents to begin with. That would explain why she works so hard if she's always had to act as a guardian to the others. It's way too sad. I really hope the truth isn't as sad as that. Anyway, I'm sorry for rambling so much. I just spilled out of me all of a sudden. That's all right. I don't mind. I don't have anyone else to discuss such things with. I'm finding that it's clearing my thoughts somewhat. It can help to talk things out. I have Kelly, but honestly, there are some things I can't tell even them, and I don't have any friends beside them. I suppose I don't have any friends either. I hadn't really thought about it. Lucy? No, nothing. I'm sorry. Never mind. I shouldn't spend much longer talking. I have a lot to do tonight. Sure, I'm sorry to keep you. There's no need to apologize. This has been surprisingly valuable. Good. If you ever need to talk anything out, I'd be more than happy to listen. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Lucy. No problem. Thank you, too. No problem to you as well. I gather my things quickly and move to the door. Don't work yourself too hard tonight, okay? I can't promise that. That wasn't a joke. I know, that wasn't a real laugh. Oh. Well, see ya! See ya. I turn around and leave, zipping up my hoodie to stay warm for my walk home. I stare at the ground as I walk, thinking about the way Owen's features seem to soften as we continue to talk. Not the way her voice would become more quiet when she seemed uncertain about something. The hesitant glances she gave me while trying to find the words for what she wanted to say. She's always been a closed book, but I feel like I was able to see into her heart a little bit today. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I felt something. Wonder what she is thinking about now that I'm gone. She's thinking about me the way I'm thinking about her. I want to learn more. I want her to come to me when she's troubled, when she needs support. But I've hardly known her half a week. Why do I feel this strongly already? Because you're gay for her, probably. This is what I mean when I call myself an idiot. Tips have been updated. It's like, okay, again, it's 01. Underneath her cold exterior lies a troubled heart. She's still got a lot on her plate. She's got a lot on her plate, but she's still here. Likes, dislikes, still completely unknown. We know she likes hitting head pats, so... I am such an idiot! In a hurry, I fumble with the key to the shop, drop the key, kneel down to grab the key, hit my head on the door frame somehow, kneel back in, and hold my head in pain for a moment, stand back up, unlock the door, and swing it open. Oh geez, I've 100% been there! It's like I'm less clumsy than I used to be, but it still comes up every now and then. Good morning. Inside, I see O1 sitting at the front counter, averting her eyes from me as if she wasn't watching. She absolutely saw that whole debacle, but there's no time to worry about that right now. I gotta find it before... Are you looking for this? Ah! She gestures to a book sitting on the counter and slides it to the edge with one hand. It's my sketchbook! I knew I left it here. I rush over to grab it and shove it in my bag, still somewhat manic. You left this here yesterday. Yeah, I noticed I couldn't find it this morning. I didn't look inside if you're worried about that. Thank you, I was a little worried about that. Once my drawings are securely zipped away, I set the entire bag down and let out a long sigh. Good morning to you, too. Thank you. Reading again? Yes. For work? Before I can look at the cover, she moves it underneath the counter and into her lap. Something like that. That's kind of a weird response, but okay. You know, there's a library near here. Oh. Yeah, I haven't been yet, but I've thought about going sometime. I see. I'm just mentioning it because if you ever wanted to look for non-work related books, that might be a good place to start. Or even work-related books, I suppose. Perhaps. I guess she's not interested. Oh well. I hop onto the counter and... Please don't sit on the counter. I hop off the counter and check the time. There's still about 10 minutes until we open. One is left to do errands every day so far, but that can't last forever. Just a matter of time until she sticks around during my whole shift, which means the basement will be off limits to me. I really hope that day isn't today, not after what happened yesterday. There's a lot of questions I want to ask whoever I meet today. So, do you have any plans today? She looks up from her book, still hidden under the counter. You're working today, Lucy. Ask me out on your day off. Sorry, another joke. Should I stop telling jokes? No, it's okay. It's my fault. I'm kind of slow on the uptake. I hear the sound of her book closing and she stands up. Yes, I have more errands to take care of today. I was just about to leave. Cool! I mean, it's not cool that you're leaving. I mean, it's not bad that you're leaving. I just mean... Okay, I want these two to get together! It's cool that I have goals which may expand my business, as otherwise my family will be buried under the weight of capitalism and succumb to meaningless deaths. I follow. Oh, yep, took the words right out of my mouth! Oh dear! Oh dear! Do you have any plans today? Plans? Like cleaning or other similar things? I don't really know what you would have in mind. I haven't really come up with anything yet. I'll try thinking of something. Alright, I'll tell you if I come up with anything as well. Sounds good! Then I'll be off. Good luck today! Indeed, I could use some luck. She waves and goes on her way. The sigh, I sit down in the chair and wait. I lift myself up and reach under me. I just sat on something. What I pull out is the definitive mathematical guide to making friends. Is this the book L1 was reading? Wonder what this has to do with work. Oh dear. That's a book title. Dang, where do I find that book? Aww. I mean, same, I am a robot. But I mean, I do have a polycule, and the people in my polycule have friends, so I guess I have friends. I'll just set that face down on the counter, take my seat, and settle nicely into my thoughts for the next few hours. Well, I'll try to, anyway. until it's time to roll the dice. I've just started my lunch break. I'm in the basement, sitting in front of this set of 4 capsules near the center of the room. I'm standing in front of the center of the 3 with the lids closed. My hand is hovering over the big red button that says open on it. I'm nervous. I don't know who will pop out today. If it's my friend with the orange hair, then I have a lot of things I want to ask her. Where she was yesterday, or what was on her mind the last time we spoke. I want to tell her how impressed one was with what we did upstairs. There's a lot of things, considering it's only been 2 days. Or it could be the girl I met yesterday, the one who seemed to hate my guts or just didn't want to deal with me. Either way, if I bother her a second day in a row, I don't know what she'll do, and I don't like to think about it. Most likely she'll just keep giving me mean looks, but I already hated that the first time. If it's not either of those two, there's one I haven't met yet. One said she had 3 siblings. If I assume that they were 2 of them, considering the number of pods here, it makes sense for there to be another. I want to meet them too, but I'm scared. I don't know what they're like. Really, what I want is to talk to the one who I'm at least somewhat confident likes me and ask her what's going on. But it's not like I'm supposed to know what's going on anyway. The reason I'm here in the first place is because I got nosy and couldn't help myself. This is what one hired me for. But I'm in too deep. I just abandon her. I can't run away, not from this too. If I was being extra bold, I suppose I could open all 3 of these at once, but that seems like a bad idea. Right, I've been opening this specific pod every day. My friend told me to come see her again. I opened this one. She must expect me to keep doing that. I have no idea why someone else was here yesterday, but maybe that's what she wanted. So whoever's inside today, I'm just gonna trust her. Okay. I take a deep breath and hit the button. The lid starts to open. I step backwards after a few paces and anxiously watch. Peek. Ah! There they are, the final sibling! Can only see their expression, but they don't seem hostile, at least. If anything, they might be shy. Good morning. I'm sorry to wake you up so suddenly. I'm... the human. Huh? Well, I'm a human. You must be the human O3 spoke of. Trucy. That's not... No need for humility. It's a pleasure. But my name is Lucy. Ah, I see. Hello, Lucy. Those I am close with have come to calling me Unit 04. It's nice to meet you. I don't really know how to read them, but I don't think they hate my guts immediately. Putting that aside, I need to ask them about something. So, do you know, O3 then? They hesitate a moment, but they nod. Did she tell you to get inside this pod today? They hesitate, but nod. Did she tell you why? It's okay, you don't have to say. Just wanted to know if it was her idea since I hadn't seen her in a couple days. If it's her own decision, then I'll just wait to see her again when I can. Well, you can go back to sleep if you'd like, but if you want, I have some time to chat. Yes. Yes, our meeting. It's been etched in the annals of fate for centuries now. Think this day would finally arrive. How interesting. You've piqued my interest. I shall spare some of my time to you. Cool, sounds good. I think this is good. I'm getting tired just trying to understand. I have to ask them about everything. No time to get overwhelmed. Sorry if this is wrong, but you're another of their siblings, right? Sibling, you say? The others have said that anyway? Yes, my family, so to speak. I suppose they have the right of it. I am the final. The final? I was constructed after the rest. Do you mean you're the youngest? But do not underestimate me. I've condensed eons of lives and experiences into these past few months. I guess if they're younger than 03, they'd be less than 2 months old. Wait, what am I thinking? It's like, this one has a flair for the dramatic. I like them. Are you confined to the basement? In one sense, yes. What about the other sense then? With your limited three-dimensional understanding of reality, it may be hard to comprehend. What? One such as yourself simply cannot help being trapped on this Terran plane. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Is this a reference to something? I am only referring to my interdimensional travels, which traverse dozens, perhaps hundreds of realities. Yet my form remains tethered to this one. A pity. What kind of realities do you mean? All sorts. Action, adventure, comedy, drama, slice of life, shonen. What? Wait. Are you talking about anime? It is called by many names. Okay, all right. This is starting to make some sense, I think. Yeah, let's ask him about anime. Anime is real. See? This person will tell you. Well, what's your favorite kind of anime? A tale weaved of darkness, of those who bathe in evil, just like myself. You don't seem evil to me. Of course I wouldn't. Not to eyes as innocent as yours. Okay, well, I'll just have to take your word for it. Are you so trusting of all demons you rouse from eternal slumber? I've been told that I'm a little bit too trusting before, but you haven't done anything to make me think you're a bad person. You tempt fate, child. I'll kill you. Please don't. Is it weird that I feel completely unthreatened by them? I was way more scared of the girl who made a mean face at me. No, it's not. This one's a total dork. And hey, I love total dorks. I'm one. That's about all I can manage to ask right now. Even if they hadn't said so, I might have guessed they were the youngest one. Another strange laugh, they begin to rise out of the pod, lift their body up to place their feet on the floor below very unsteadily. Without thinking, I move forward to help catch them, but they land before I can do anything. They still seem a bit wobbly. Are you okay? I'm perfectly well. Better than ever, in fact. You've roused me from my centuries-long boredom, after all. As they shift their stance, something in their legs seems to give way and they tumble onto the floor. I rush over to their side. Are you all right? Damned vessel. They start trying to stand back up. Maybe you should sit down for a minute. Do not treat me as some injured pup, fool. Sorry. No, that's quite all right. I apologize for my outburst. In truth, Although my very existence contains powers beyond compare, this body is weak. Weak? It is quite frail. It's for this reason that I slumber. If God does indeed exist, he was wise to enfeeble me so, else he'd have met his end eons ago. This one's amazing! I love them! I see, so that's why you can't leave the basement, within this dimension at least. Correct. I've been sealed in this coffin of metals and bricks for eternity, till I may find a more suitable vessel and quit this cursed realm. I see. I don't know how pressing this situation is, but I'm starting to understand why Owen needs money so badly. I look back to them and their faces turn somewhat troubled as they observe my expression. Changes back just as I notice. I take a seat next to them on the floor. Oh, I can tell. No need to speak. You worry I may steal your body and use it as my own, do you not? No need to fear thusly. Yours would suit me no better than this. Your form is safe. Right, that's a relief. Thank you. So what about the others? Theirs would do me no better than... No, I don't mean about stealing their bodies. Don't hang out together much? At times. One has an important mission of her own, so I rarely speak with her. And N03 seems to always be preoccupied with what I cannot say. So it falls to myself in O2 to traverse the realms. O2, that must be the girl with the long hair, the one who hates me. Great. Of course, there is some pleasure to be derived from cavorting with beings of this plane, such as yourself. To be awoken from eternal slumber by you, your strength must be great indeed. I think they're trying to compliment me. It's kind of hard to tell. Thank you for saying so. I hope I haven't been a bother. Go. Much more slowly this time, they rest their feet with confidence. I'd best be returning to my travels. Okay, no problem. But perhaps our paths shall cross once more in the distant future. Hopefully not too distant. I look forward to it. Me too! They nod with a coy little smile and, without another word, slither back into the pod and disappear inside. I'm left smiling weakly at the lid as it closes, trying to fight off the strangest headache I've had in quite a while. I think that went well. I can't really tell, but I don't think it was bad, at least. I'd say I'm satisfied, but I'm not disappointed either, I guess. It's just weird. I'll have a lot to ask O3 about the next time I see her, whenever that is. Tips have been updated. I assume with info about O4, yeah. Strange person whose mask seems to slip off every other sentence. They are frail of body but strong of spirit. Likes anime, dislikes mundanity. Unit 02 likes anime apparently, dislikes Lucy definitely. Again, aww. Friday, September 28th, 3:46 p.m. Welcome back! I just noticed just a little bit too late that something is wrong. She avoids eye contact with me as she walks in through the front door holding some envelopes in her hands. She stands near the entrance, only glancing at me for just a moment. With darkness in her usual blank expression, she turns away, looking out the window. Is everything okay? I received this month's bills. Oh, we're running out of time. Her voice is quiet, almost raspy. Washed the back of her head in silence, uncertain about what to say. I don't think she wants to hear that we didn't get any customers today. She didn't even ask. And after she was in such high spirits the last few days, is there more I can do to cheer her up? I'm absolutely not in a position to try. I'm sure the money she is going to be paying me for working here will make it even harder to pay her bills. I want to blurt out that she doesn't need to pay me, but that's insane, and I can't do that to Kelly. If I don't get money, they'll be stuck paying off our bills again. I almost wish she'd fire me right now so I didn't have to bear any of the responsibility. Then Kelly would feel sorry for me instead of upset with me. I'm terrible. I don't know what to say. There's nothing I can do. I still have to try. It'd be best if you went home for today, Lucy. Oh, unless there's something pressing, I need time to think. All right. I gather my things awkwardly and quietly while she waits for me to leave. As I'm heading towards the door, I catch her face from the side. Her expression is the same. I'll see you tomorrow? No. Huh? It's Friday, isn't it? So I'll see you on Monday. Oh, I guess that makes sense. We hadn't talked about it, so will the store be okay without me if you have other things to do? It's not as if it matters. We won't sell anything. And if we were, it would not pay these bills. If the power gets shut off, all that equipment downstairs would turn off. And what would happen to everyone? Would they be okay? I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm sorry. This is none of your concern. She turns away from me and heads towards the back door. Lock up on your way out, please, and have a nice weekend. I don't even look behind me. I hear the large metal door to the basement slam shut. My entire body quakes. I can't stay here, but I can't move. I want to chase after her. I want to run away. I just stood in the doorway, shaking for quite some time until finally I leave. I'm home. I walk straight into the couch and fall onto it from whatever angle comes first. My face gets stuffed in between the couch cushions and my bag falls onto the floor next to me. My roommate's voice calls out from the kitchen. Yo, you're back early. Yeah. I don't know if my voice even reaches them over the sound of sizzling. It smells like garlic. A few minutes pass. I reposition myself on the couch so I'm not over the back of it, bury my face properly into a pillow and curl into a ball. Sound of Kelly cooking soothes me into a light sleep until I suddenly feel them sit down on the couch in front of me. I hear the sound of them placing a bowl on the coffee table. Dinner's ready if you're hungry. Not yet, thank you though. You work tomorrow? No, it's my first day off, I guess. You guess? I hadn't thought about it until I got off, but it's been a full 5 days now. Well, good job making it through your first week. Thanks. As they start eating, I pull myself into a sitting position and rub my eyes. My head still feels so heavy. While I take a moment to massage my temples, Kelly stares directly at me. Something up? You seem stressed, more than usual. The huge sigh I collapse into their shoulder. I'm just worried about my co-workers. My boss came back today looking really grim. She got the bills for this month. I don't know if they're gonna be okay. I don't know how I can help or what I should be doing. Supposed to have some days off now, but I feel so guilty sitting around on my ass while they struggle. Sounds rough. They set their bowl down again. But it's not your problem how they solve these issues. That's not what you're there for. Right, but if you're worried about losing your job from it, we can start looking again. There's gotta be something better than this weird place out there. I guess? If you're worrying about me, don't. We'll keep trying until we get a job that you can manage long term. I don't mind picking up the slack. It's not as if that's not on my mind, but right now it's a few steps down on my list of priorities. Lives might be at stake here. I just made a new friend after all. If I lose her already, Listen, I work tomorrow, but not till the afternoon, so we can get breakfast or something before then, okay? Something nice. Then you can have the apartment to yourself for the night and do whatever you want. Play a game, watch a show, take a huge nap, whatever. You can just chill. For tonight, you should eat something and call it an early night if you need to, alright? Yeah. I know they're right. I met O1 less than a week ago. I don't really know her at all. She seems kind, but I'm just her employee. She wouldn't be able to see me as a friend no matter what I do. There's nothing I can do, so I should just relax and... No, I can't do that. I can't ignore them. I have to do something. Okay, I'll take it easy until Monday. Make your choice, Lucy. Don't turn back. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of chapter 4. Yep. Any new data shards? Yes. We're at 927. Status report, September 27th, 2020X, day 79. Overview. Unit 01, good. Unit 02, good. Unit 03, fair. Unit 04, fair. Data recovery, 25%. Data encryption, 75%, which those numbers haven't changed. Summary. Abnormal activity by Unit 02, previously not known to gain consciousness by her own will. Brief awakening by Unit 03 despite directions otherwise. Action recommended. Comment from Unit 01. No comment received. And the log for the 28th, day 80. Overview. Unit 01, good. Unit 02, good. Unit 03, fair. Unit 04, poor. 25%, data encryption 75%. Critical alert. Unit 04's condition has decreased below acceptable quality. Immediate attention required. Critical alert. Security breach detected. Immediate action required. Immediate attention required. Comment from Unit 01. No comment received. Comment from system. Threshold of tolerability has been passed. Action is required. Unit 01 has been informed. Action will be mandatory. Okay, give me just a minute to refill my coolant because I am doing a lot more reading than usual this stream, so I'll be right back. I wasn't kidding. I literally just took a sip. And by sip I mean like drank half of the water bottle at once, but yeah, let's go on. So I'm gonna guess chapter 5 is gonna be a full-length chapter, and then there's gonna be like a short epilogue. But I don't actually know. We're gonna find out together. When I arrive, the lights are off inside the store. I peer in through the window, trying to see if anyone's there. I'd probably see her glowing red eyes if she were hanging out alone in the dark. Which again is a completely normal thing to say about your boss. Holding the key in my hand, I nervously push it to the handle and it opens as always. There's no reason to think it wouldn't, right? I step inside feeling like I'm committing a crime, but I work here. She gave me a key. It's totally fine, Lucy. It's hard to say that about what I'm doing next, though. I stare down the dark stairway leading to the basement, my mouth suddenly very dry. It feels like I could be caught at any second. One said she had a lot to take care of today, right? So she's probably out of the store. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's fine. Just do this the same as you always do. No sense hesitating at this point. I turn my phone's flashlight on as I descend, trying my best not to make any noise. Chapter 5, Descent. Oh, you mean like the 90s computer game? No? Not at all? Okay. It's like I did play a fair amount of that as a youngin'. I was terrible at it, but I played it anyway. By the time I open the door into the basement proper, I can't bring myself to yell for the lights to come on. It's not as if I was allowed to be here all those other times, but this one in particular feels so extraordinarily bad that I decided to keep my presence minimal. I know the area well enough to navigate it like this, I think. I managed to make my way to the pods as normal. But this is the first time since Monday that I've seen them all lined up together, glowing in the dark. It's so ominous. Nope, just calm down, Lucy. You need to do this. You need to talk to her. You need to figure out what you can do to help. No more running away. No more abandoning people who are in trouble. No more. Huh? As I approach, I notice something strange. Third pod 03's pod, it's open. It's empty. There's no glow coming from inside. That could only mean she's out on a wake somewhere, right? Nope. I guess it could be either of the other two based on the last couple of days. The first pod is open as usual too. I've always assumed one would sleep in there, so that means she's out somewhere, doesn't it? I'm looking for 03. I was really backing on her being in the usual place today. What do I do now? I can't just leave. I guess she must be somewhere in the basement, right? Maybe she fell asleep somewhere else. Not allowed to leave the basement, so that has to be it, right? Suddenly even more uneasy, I hold my breath and listen to the sounds of the room. Usual humming of machines persists. Comes from all directions, but I can always especially hear the whirring of those sleeping pods. When I'm not talking to someone, they stand out as louder than the rest, but I hear something else, something different. It's similar to the pod's noise, like the sound of a cooling fan spinning, sort of like my PCs. Now that I think about it, the poor thing is always working so hard. It's coming from deeper in. I guess that's the best clue I have right now, so I should follow it. I hate this. Hurting myself, I take up my first few soft steps in that direction. Never been any further in than this, but I know there's a lot more to this place. My only choice is to take a look. Well, obviously that's not my only choice. I have so many options available to me. I could take any of them besides this one, but here I go anyway. As I move forward, I see more and more areas like the ones I've already seen. More monitors all shut off and totally blank. More tables stacked high with more paper with more complicated looking information printed on them. More wires scattered across the floor, forcing me to take my time to avoid tripping over them. Place must have been used for a lot of really important things at some point. Looks like most of it hasn't been touched in quite a while. I wonder what happened. For that matter, why is anyone living in a place like this? Is this all medical equipment? Must it exist somewhere, but I haven't seen anything like a kitchen or bed or anything like that. Do they really live inside those pods? I should have taken it more seriously. 103 said there was nothing to do here. Now that I'm exploring deeper, I'm starting to understand what she meant. I don't know what I'm looking for at this point. I guess I still just want to find her. I want to know that she's alright. I want to talk to her again. My paranoia is getting the best of me and I know it, but I won't be able to calm down until I see her again. I don't know what could have happened to her, but I have no shortage of terrible ideas. They keep flashing in and out of my mind. Please, I just want to put them all to rest. I've been walking for a while now. Just how big is this place? It's no wonder they're having money problems. I think I see something. As I turn a corner, I can faintly make out a long hallway of tables and equipment. At the very end of it, I see something. A series of lights faintly in the distance. Tiny little red bulbs lined up on some machine. Seems like that's where the noise is coming from. Well, I've come this far. My only option is to move towards it. Oh, tiny little red lights like the eyes of these robots? Until... It's only a color, but I would recognize it anywhere. That light, citrus orange colored, laying at the very end of this long dark hallway. It's hard to tell from this distance, but that has to be her. I start dashing down the lane, overcome with desperation. Just want to see her. I want to hear her voice. I want her to tell me what she's going through. There's so much that I don't know, so much that I know we can offer each other. My first new friend in a new city. So I have to tell her that I was happy with the cleaning we did. So much for us to talk about. So much more of ourselves to share. Why am I thinking all this now? All these thoughts are so embarrassing. I just want to understand her. I just want to help her. Oh dear. What? What is? It's her. Unit 03. She's lying down on a large metal table, hand laying limp near the edge. Probably at least a dozen thick wires coming out of her in every direction, well, some smaller ones, and probably many more that I can't see. They're attached to her, like they're plugged into her body in several places. To her legs, her chest, her back, her... I can see her expression now. Her eyes, empty of their usual sparkle, staring blankly in my direction, lips slightly parted. Her cast over her face still maintaining its cute bouncy shape, and her neck... open wide. When I lean over to get a better look, I don't know what I see, but I look inside her neck. Her head is completely separated from her body, and I see up inside of her neck. Not just her head, each of her limbs are removed from her torso. The arm closest to me is split even further, broken at the elbow, the wrist, strips of skin-colored material sheared off her forearm and set aside. I look inside her again. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what I see. What does she have in her arm? Why is it like that in there? What? I drop my phone and start staggering backwards. What the fuck is this? What am I supposed to be seeing? A scream wants to burst out of my chest, but it gets caught in my throat again and again. My voice comes out coarse. What? About to fall over, I reach out for something to hold on to. That's when I bump into something. Someone. But that escapes my throat, and I whip my body around to see. My eyes meet with those two bright, glowing red eyes which freeze me in place. Lights! Or lights! That's clearly O1, right? Light floods the room as she yells. Having raised her voice several times louder than I'd ever heard her do, she glares down directly into my eyes. An eternity passes before she speaks. Lucy. What are you doing down here? This is it. This is the end. She's gonna murder me. I was right all along. All this was too good to be true. Everything runs here. My decision to run away. My decision moving with Kelly to try to get my life back on track and fun job and make friends. And I'm such a wretched fucking moron, and I'm going to. Her eyes focus away from me towards what remains of O3. I follow her gaze, expecting to regret it immediately. Somehow, what I see calms me down. There's no blood, there's no guts, just all of O3's body parts cleanly removed from each other and spread across the table. Shouldn't this be even weirder? Shouldn't it scare me even more? I can explain this. What? Something bold suddenly rises up from inside me. Before I know it... What can you possibly explain? Lucy. Why is she like this? Did you do this to her? Lucy. What are all these wires attached to her? To her for? What kind of fucked up experiments do you do down here? Is this all she's here for you to do this to her? Lucy. No wonder your bills are so high. You're just trying to fund this horrible murder basement? Lucy. Just what on fucking earth do you need the others for? Why are you keeping them prisoner? And where are the other two? Are they next up on the chopping block? Lucy. Why did this have to happen to her? She was so sweet. She was trying so hard. She was all alone, and now I didn't even get to tell her. Lucy. Please, for the love of everything, calm down. It's not like that. But please. Unit 03 is just fine. I promise. She's been ripped into pieces. How can she... I'll show you. I'm going to put her back together for you, okay? Please wait a moment. Put her back together? What does that even mean? How is that even possible? It's easier to show you than to explain. She walks past me towards the table O3 is on. That would be my chance to make a mad dash for the door and call somebody, the FBI maybe, but I'm so stupid even after all this. I still want to trust her. I can't imagine how, but I want so badly for her to be telling the truth. I don't feel any malice or evil in her voice or in her eyes or anything. I can't help but believe her. I'm so stupid. I take a step backwards, silent except for the sound of my beating heart. I watch her back as she leans over the table and gets to work. Several minutes pass by in tense silence before O1 finally lets out a small sigh. She stands up a bit straighter, but doesn't turn to face me. She's still looking down at the table. I peek my head slightly around her, and it's hard to tell, but I don't see any parts of O3 that aren't attached. She only turns to give me the briefest of glances and moves her hand somewhere in O3's body. I hear a click. Here's some quiet beeping and another source of worrying. O1 finally turns all the way around to face me. Stepping aside to let me see, but still holding O3's hand. I step forward, but stop short. O3 starts to move. Her hand definitely curls up into a fist. She starts to let out a long yawn and sits up. Her body, with everything attached the way it should be, sits itself up and rubs its eyes. Mm. Mm. She opens her eyes and I see it. That sparkle, that glow, looks directly at me. Lulu, is that you? Can't contain myself. All the pressure that's been building up in me just explodes all at once. Keep towards her, throwing my arms all around her shoulders, just rubs her eyes sleepily and pats my back, obviously confused. Hey, what's up with you? Did something? Oh shit! Why are you here? One is. I thought you were dead. I'm so glad you're okay. Dad, why did you think that? Of course I'm not dead. Hey, wait, why am I naked, Lulu? You can't look at me like this. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Lulu, I'm gonna die for real if you don't let go of me. Oh my gosh, you're so adorable like that. Can't words too cute. After some more yelling, I finally put together what she's saying and turn away, my face completely red. One grabs her clothes off a nearby chair and hands them to her so she can get dressed. Okay, that's better. Thanks, someone. Sure. Now that I'm decent, I can find the presence of mind to properly ask, what in the ever-loving fuck is language? What in the ever fucking fuck is fucking going on here? Ignoring that, one turns towards me and I can't do anything but fidget. Now that 03 is alive, I don't know how to explain myself. I still don't know what I just saw. I think the shock might have just caught up with me. Where do I even start and why am I the one who has to explain? None of this makes any sense. Seeing I'm unable to speak, one turns back to 03. She saw. You don't mean... one nods. No way! Not only did she see me naked, she saw me completely disassembled. This is the worst. How can you leave me out totally exposed? I'm sorry, but she was not supposed to be down here. I couldn't have foreseen this. Hold on. Who is this anyway? This girl, I don't know her. Why? Don't bother. I figured it out by now. Well, it's not her fault. It's all mine. I'm the one who went upstairs and... No, it's mine. I came into this place without permission and... No, shut up. It's... We can save this for another time. For now, let's get 03 back to sleep. Okay. Aww. 03 and I exchange worried looks. One takes her hand again and helps her stand up, though she seems a little wobbly. Are your joints alright? Yep, they always feel a little weird when you first put them back together. They'll settle in soon. Alright, tell me if you're having trouble. Go ahead then, Lucy. Lead the way. It's an obvious trap to confirm that I'm familiar with this area, but I don't have it in me to keep being dishonest. So I nod and meekly obey. Tips have been updated. I assume that's just info on, like, everybody, but let's take a look. Like, oh, it's just 03. Her body can apparently be broken apart and reassembled at will. Has some kind of illness limiting her. The two probably aren't connected. Likes being helpful, dislikes being seen naked / disassembled. Yeah, big mood. One gently helps 03 back into her pod. I stand back awkwardly as they plug some things in. 03 looks at me while 01's distracted. She smiles weakly as if to just acknowledge the weird situation we're in. I smile back and she lowers deeper inside. One steps away from the pod. Sorry for how this is going down. It's alright, just get some rest. Right, I'll try. Good luck, Lulu. Thanks. The lid slowly descends. She waves at me sheepishly until she disappears. Lulu, huh? Please come with me. I'll show you out. All right. She heel turns toward the exit, linger by the capsules for just a second longer, and follow after her. I don't know how to feel anymore. Feels like all the blood drained out of my head. I want to collapse and take a nap, and I don't know whether or not to be thankful that she is not saying anything while we walk. It's a short walk, but it seems to drag on forever in utter silence. Just the misaligned rhythms of our feet clicking against tiles. All the while, I can't get that image out of my mind of O3 torn apart and spread across that table like she was a piece of furniture you hadn't put together yet. I did see that, right? I really hope I'm not losing my mind. It's starting to feel that way. When she put her back together, was some sort of weird magic trick, like sawing a person in half. You really haven't figured out they're robots yet, huh? Maybe she was never in pieces to begin with? Is that the trick? Am I an idiot? Is there some obvious explanation for it that I'm not realizing? If there is, I wish someone would just spell it out for me. Lucy. Her voice pulls me out of my thoughts. Yes? Still with her back to me, I hear her breathe in and out. I don't know what to expect her to say, but I prepare for the worst. I'm sorry to have given you such a scare. I can understand why what you saw may have seemed terrifying. Traumatizing might be more accurate. I'm sorry too for coming down here without your permission. I was going to ask about that. I didn't know it was off limits at first. The door said employees only, and I figured that included me, so that was due to my own foolishness. Should have taken more precautions to ensure this did not happen. I don't know why my judgment was so clouded. Still, I should apologize. After the first time I found this place, I know I shouldn't be down here, but I should have foreseen something like this. She stops walking and turns to me. I'm not gonna punish you. Okay, that's good. But I cannot allow you to meet with Unit 03 again, nor may you come back down here. I say this for her own safety, not just hers, but of all those who live down here. I'm sure you've put together the secret we've been keeping, not just from you, but the world. Yeah, sure, definitely. I've totally got that figured out. I don't know what to do. I should take care of the problem you represent. The very minimum, you ought to be fired, but all I can do is ask you to not to come down here anymore. There it is. I lower my head, staring down at her feet away from her expression, the same expression she always has. I've been reprimanded like this in the past. I would freeze up, accept whatever anger and disappointment is being thrown my direction, stay silent. From somewhere inside me, perhaps from my memories of O3, something rises into my throat. Before I can stop, it falls out of my mouth in a single word. Why? What? Why can't I come down here? Have I hurt anyone? I'm asking seriously. If I've hurt someone without knowing it, I want to know. I'll stop. I really will. If anything I've done has hurt any of them or even you, I'll listen and I'll stop. But if I haven't, then why? Why can't all three come out of the basement? Why aren't I allowed to come down to see her? Any of the others? I want to keep seeing her. I know she wants to see me too. I don't want to let her down. I promised. Aww. I turn my gaze back up to her, knowing that I must look strangely intense right now. Her features falter, as if I've weakened her facade, damaged her ice-cold attitude. Takes a moment, but she finally speaks, looking away from me now. There are two main reasons. The first, as you may have guessed, is that O3 is simply too frail. There are too many unknown factors outside for me to account for. Whether she leaves this place to meet them or they enter this place to meet her, there's no telling what might happen. I lack the data to know for certain. It's simply not worth the risk. And the second, what you saw today shouldn't exist to the world. Our true nature, our very existence is shrouded in secrets. It's fallen on me to keep us hidden, and I've failed already, spectacularly. Were you anyone else, I'd have disposed of you already. That's an extremely loaded sentence you just said to me. I can't even take the time to unpack it right now. Were these like military murder robots? My entire life is for the safety and well-being of the three others. Unit 02, Unit 03, and Unit 04, they depend on me for their survival. I can make no compromises. Is it really that serious? What would happen if word got out? Our lives would cease to be our own. They belong to a struggle between powerful forces seeking to either destroy or manipulate us to various ends. Yeah, definitely leaning towards military robots. I cannot overstate the severity. Even now, my thoughts are racing with methods of disposing you just to prevent it from getting out. I was created solely to protect them. You jeopardize our lives simply by existing right now. So why have I not stopped you? Could have taken the precautions. I could have locked the basement door at the same place. Why did I hire you? Why invite the risk? I don't get it. You could fire me. Really, if I'm that dangerous to y'all, you should. I've meant to on several occasions, but every time I would back out before I could speak the words, get into talking about various frivolous things, and... Oh, now's your chance. We're already talking about it. Just tell me to leave. I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. I couldn't blackmail you with O3's life as a bargaining chip. There's no reason for you to keep me if I'm such a problem. Why won't you after all of that? I don't know. I don't know. What was an emotional thing you gave for her? No, I'm legitimately wondering if that's what's going on here. I don't understand you at all. Frankly, I've begun to feel that I don't understand myself. I don't know if I ever could understand the position you're in, but I'm gonna keep trying for as long as you don't get rid of me. Are you really okay with that? Are you really okay with that if I continue to dig into your business and learn more of your secrets? And what about O3? What about her? You can't keep her all alone down here. She's been so sweet and kind to me. I don't want her to be lonely. I want to keep being her friend. She's not alone. She has the rest of us here too. I don't know if she sees it that way. I guess the sense that there's some kind of rift between her and the others, including you. The past 2 days, she set it up so that when I came to see her, I'd meet the others instead, 02 and 04. You woke up 04? Yeah, sorry, that wasn't intentional. But I talked to them all, and it just seemed like she doesn't have any real friends down here. I thought they were getting along just fine. It didn't seem that way. Doesn't matter. Regardless of how she feels, I have to keep her safe. That's not fair to her. No, it's not, but it must be this way until I can find an alternative. Have to endure the unfair hand we've been dealt. That's why I must hurry, why I can't afford to rest. If she has any hope of leaving this place, it rests on my shoulders. Well, why are you allowed to make that choice, but not her? It's why it was made. What does that even mean? I should tell you something. You know how I cleaned up the storefront, reorganized everything, made it look better? Yes. O3 helped. Actually, it's probably more accurate to say that I helped her. She did most of it. She left the basement? Yeah, she wants to help. I already know that. She's made it exceedingly clear to me that she's miserable standing by, waiting for something to change. What am I supposed to do? Cannot jeopardize her well-being just to make her feel useful. You saying her feelings are more important than her life? I don't know. I just want to tell you to believe in her, to let her help you shoulder the burden. But if her life's at stake, I don't know what can be done. I don't understand enough to be of any help. I don't understand anything, but I want to. I want to know what's going on here with all of you. Not that I'm just some stupid clumsy girl you met just less than a week ago. Maybe it's none of my business. But there's no way I could possibly help any of you, but I don't want you to leave. I don't want to get rid of you. Despite all of this, inside of me, I feel that I want you around. I want to put my trust into you. Maybe beyond me to offer O3 any comfort, but I can tell that meeting you has made her happier. You think so? I'm not blind to her feelings, though it pains me to acknowledge them. First week in some time, she's expressed any interest in waking up. Prior to this, she'd given up. She would turn her consciousness off for long stretches of time, only waking up when I needed to speak with her. That should be ideal, right? For her to rest until things are different, till I find a solution, but it doesn't feel right. Her kindness, her enthusiasm, I don't want those things to disappear. I want to get through all of this with those parts of her intact. But it's become exceedingly clear that I am of no use in this respect. The only thing that has worked is you. I know what I've said. None of those things have changed. I feel inclined to make an exception and allow you to continue meeting with her. Really? Just like that? Yes. However, I need to be exceedingly clear about this. If our secret gets out, it will be catastrophic to us. As I've said, there are those in this world who would use us for their own selfish benefit. Others who would want us destroyed just to prevent that. Not one other living soul can know of this. If you care for Unit 03, then you must not forget this for even a second. Do you follow? Yes, I do. I mean, mostly. Mostly isn't good enough, Lucy. I need you to swear to secrecy. No, I get that part. I promise I won't even hint at the existence of any secret. It's just that, I still don't really understand what exactly the secret is. Seriously? Yeah, seriously, is this something obvious? Because I have absolutely no idea what you've been talking about. No, that's fine. It might be for the best if you don't know the details. If it's alright with you, can you please not think about it too hard? I would feel better this way. That's a big ask. How am I supposed to forget something like that? There are certain details I cannot get into, but suppose if I'm placing my trust in you, I can offer some sort of limited explanation at least. Okay. We are different from you and other humans like you. Differences have given rise to certain problems, complications unique to us. I suppose you could say it's like an illness, something with no precedent in human society. Everything I'm doing is in order to keep them safe and perhaps to eventually cure them so they might lead normal lives someday. That's all. I see. I think I can accept that. Whatever this mystery decapitation disease is that allows a person to have their head separated from their body and somehow survive, it's a big world, I suppose. That must have looked quite bad. It looked very, very bad! But thank you for explaining. Thank you, Lucy. What for? It feels like all I've done is cause you trouble and scold you for things that have nothing to do with me. Perhaps so. You've said a lot of presumptuous things to me today. I don't even know why I gave you the time to speak. Frankly, you've surprised me. I think I needed your criticism. So, thank you. Well, I'm glad I could be of help. If there's anything else I can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm relying on you enough as it is. As long as you offer your support to O3 and swear to secrecy, I couldn't ask any more of you. Maybe there isn't much else I can do, but if you need a friend of your own, I would be happy to be that for you. I'm sorry, but she is a total. I'm sorry, but she. Well, I'm sorry, but Lucy's a total gay disaster, right? Right? Obviously, she's thinking about more than friends, possibly. That's. Anyway, I believe I told you to take this day off, did I not? Yes, that's right. We're closed. Please go home. Right, sure, I can do that. But see if you can rely on O3 a little bit, okay? I suppose I can at least speak with her about it. There may be something she can do within her limits. Yeah, just talk with her. I know. She wants to be of help, so... Yes, I know. Sucks for her to have to stay in the basement, so... Lucy. Yeah? Please go home. Yes, ma'am. She waves to me and watches as I leave through the door. I'm left with only my thoughts as I ascend the stairs. I can't believe I said all that. Since when did I get comfortable talking like that to someone? All just spilled out of me, all those feelings from so long ago, feelings I thought I'd put behind me. I may have been projecting a little bit, but I guess it worked out. Even so, it's not as if anything I actually said will actually solve their troubles. Even if O1 and O3 that come to an understanding that won't pay the bills, they won't keep any of them alive if they don't have the money. Worst case scenario, someone might die. I didn't bargain for something like this when I was looking for a job. Suddenly becoming so invested in the well-being of another 4 people like this. I was already way out of my league, trying to support just myself and Killy. I hadn't even gotten to that point. Am I strong enough for this? Can I be there for them through all the difficulties they may face? Can I endure all that pressure without buckling? I want to. I really, really want to. There's no way I can turn my back on them after all this. I can't just run away. Not again. Not as if all this is a burden. A week ago I had 1 friend. Now it's possible that I have triple that amount. Should be much happy about all of this. I should be excited for them to rely on me. Open the door at the top of the stairs and emerge back into the storefront. We have a customer! We got a freaking customer! Ah, hello? This is an incredible opportunity. Even if it's difficult, I should ignore this chance to make new friends. Hello, miss. Do you work here? I'm always so stuck in my head worrying about everything that could go wrong. I need to work on seeing people directly in front of me, helping those who I'm in a position to. Excuse me, might you have a moment? I should appreciate the good things that would happen instead of wondering how they might become bad things later down the road. Mood. away from my parents and living with my closest friend. I got in the best position of my life. Just what am I complaining about? Excuse me, is this store open? Oh, sorry, we're... Ah! When did he come in? Was it a while when I were talking downstairs? Oh God, how long has it been? This is my first customer and I'm not even working today. Of course I should. Hi, welcome. I'm sorry for the delay. How can I help you today? It's quite all right. I wasn't sure you were open. Oh, well, did you need help finding anything in particular? Do you have any questions? If you need any help at all, you can just... That's fine. I know exactly what I'm here for. Yes? I'd like to buy all of it. Huh? Your entire stock. I'll take it all. I don't think I understand. How does $30,000 sound to you? Ah! Well, they did have a customer, but now they don't have a storefront. Also, I'm kind of wondering if who that guy is and what. Right, like I think like at least some of those parts are like parts related to. Like parts related to these to the robots who live here, that's already established, and they're like, why are you selling these robot equivalent to panties gag we had in the last episode? So like, the fact that this guy just came in and was like, yeah, I'll take everything in this store. It's like. Okay, I'm afraid you know something. I'm afraid you know something that may be dangerous to our friends here. These can't be real. Boy's been moving bin after bin out of the store until a large truck parked on the street. I've been counting the money in the briefcase over and over again. I've never seen counterfeit bills before, but as far as I can tell after doing some research on my phone, these are the real thing. 30,000 real-ass United States dollars. What in the world am I supposed to do? At this point, most of the store's stock has already been moved outside. Trying to stop it here would be fruitless. The employee's only door was somehow locked behind me, and no amount of knocking prompted any response, so I don't know how to bring a one up here. All I can do is watch, completely dumbstruck, as our very first customer takes every last item out of this store for an amount of money that feels completely absurd. Well, I think that's everything. It sure is. Sure enough, as I look around the room, everything has been stripped bare. Never thought I'd see the shelves completely empty like this. I'm sorry, I should have been helping you carry things. You're very kind, but don't trouble yourself with that. Okay, well, is something the matter? I've never even made a sale for $5, let alone 6,000 times that. What am I supposed to say? Would you like your receipt? Lucy, you literally have no idea how to produce a receipt for this. No, that's quite all right. Thank you, though. All right. You seem confused. I can hardly blame you. I realize how unusual this is. Do you really? Here, take this for your trouble. He reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out a single tiny piece of cardstock. This is my card. If you have any concerns about my purchase, all my contact information is right there. Shouldn't this be happening the other way around? He hands me a strangely empty-looking card. VT Industries? I've never heard of them. I guess I wouldn't know much about any kind of industries, though. I don't know if you can call and address contact information, but thank you, I suppose. Oh, and there's no name on this card. You don't say, how strange. Again, please feel free to stop by anytime. And with that, I'd best be off. I've got a big day ahead of me. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time, especially on your day off like this. It's no big, huh? I promise you this isn't any kind of trick. Have yourself a lovely day, miss. And thank you again so very, very much. Again, I'm calling this guy being a villain in future episodes. Before I can respond or ask any of the several dozen questions I have, he is gone. Truck outside revs up and drives off before I can process it. Which leaves me standing here alone in the middle of this empty shop holding an open briefcase of $30,000 in my hands. And in this incredibly vulnerable state, I hear a door open behind me. Oh, Lucy, you're still here. You dropped your phone down. Lucy? Yes? Where the fuck did all that money come from? Where the fuck did all that money come from? She's been counting the money in the briefcase again and again and again for the last 10 minutes. At that time, I think she's gone through it all about 10 times. She works so fast I can barely comprehend how she's keeping all the numbers straight. Apparently neither can she because she's still not convinced it's all real. Honestly, neither am I. After quite some time, she sets the briefcase on the counter, lets out a sigh, and looks me dead in the eyes. Lucy? Yeah? How did you do this? I didn't do anything. He offered this much without me saying a thing. When I came upstairs, I was waiting, and before I could offer anything to him at all, he asked for the entire store's inventory for $30,000. Why would he jump to such a high number? I don't get it either! She opens the briefcase again and studies the bills once more. Was all this stuff in here really worth this much? Not at all. It was maybe $1,000 if I'm being extremely generous. That's nothing. She was working so hard just to sell a fraction of that every day. No wonder she tried to gouge me so badly. Maybe I shouldn't be spitting in the horse's mouth. Yeah, wait, what? So much money buys us time that I didn't think we'd have. How much time? Assuming nothing catastrophic happens, about 4 months. Ugh. Sure, that's a lot to her, but from my side, it sounds like nothing. Of course, in the meantime, I'll have to figure out what to do going forward. Right, that's 4 months of saving up money for month 5 and beyond. Precisely. Do you have any ideas? Absolutely zero. I always knew selling these extra parts would lead nowhere. Most of my frustration came from the fact that I had no plan B. Now this is out of the way, I don't know what to do. It's really heartbreaking that even getting a $30,000 isn't enough to solve those problems. I don't mean to only complain. My nature is to think pragmatically, but this was an unprecedented stroke of fortune. To be honest, I'm so relieved I can hardly think straight. I'm really glad. Thank you for all you've done, Lucy. It means a lot. I really haven't done much in this particular case. Even so, having someone to talk to about this situation has been more helpful than I could have predicted. Thank you. She seems to be struggling to find the right words. I understand it can be hard on your own. I'm glad I could help. God, I could get addicted to making her blush like that. I need to control myself. Gay! Gay! Yeah, so gay. Anyway, I believe I asked you a while ago to take your day off. Several times. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's fine, Lucy. You should take it easy for a day too, okay? There's no store to run right now. Take some time to reflect on your next move. I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, and don't forget about O3 and the others, okay? You should talk to them about what to do next. They deserve to be involved. Right. And Lucy, please go home. Yes, ma'am. Aw. Monday, September 31st, 9:46 a.m. Lulu! As soon as I step in front of the door to unlock it, it swings open and I'm tackled back outside by O3. I'm so glad you're here! Hey, you're up early, and you're... Yup, I'm out of the basement. Is that okay? Yes. Look further into the store and I see O1 walking towards us. Good morning, Lucy. Good morning. Hey, can I come inside? It's cold. Oh! O3 takes her arms out from around me and steps back so I can head inside. Sorry for glomping you so suddenly. Don't worry about... Wait, what did you just call it? Owen told us all about what happened. You're so cool, Lucy! Also, wow, I haven't heard anyone use the term glomping in a really long time. Like I said before, I didn't do anything. I just happened to be the one here. Still, we're very grateful that you helped us regardless. It's nothing. I look away from the two of them and that's when it really sinks in. It's so strange to see it empty like this. Empty except for Mr. Bear! Huh? Oh, him. I think he just fell off one of the shelves by accident. No need for modesty. I can perfectly envision your heroic rescue perfectly in my head. I really didn't. Just let her pretend, Lucy. There are more important things to discuss, such as our next step as a business. I want to think hard about what we can do with this space. We're blessed with a viable storefront, if nothing else, so it'd be a shame to stop using it. Whatever we can do to sustain ourselves, I'm prepared to do what's necessary. Do you have any ideas? None. The four of us had a long discussion about it, but none of our ideas seemed feasible. So you talked to the other two as well? That's right. Well... Unit 03, Unit 04 still shouldn't be leaving the lab. I mean, basement. And O2, she's... Right, I understand. Still, it's great that you can finally... Yeah, I'm so excited to go out and see the city. Let's not go out and get ahead of ourselves. Oh, come on. We'll discuss this later. Boo! At any rate... Must continue working hard to make the best use of this stroke of good fortune we received. There's no room for complacency with so much on the line. I'll be counting on the both of you, okay? Aye! Right! Come on, let's get the energy up! Team huddle! Aww! Come on, let's get the blood flowing! It is, I promise. I want to feel it, Lulu. Yell with me. You too, sis. I think I'll pass. Come on, you're the boss. Gotta lead by example. Say it with me. Go, team. Go, team. Go, team. No, louder. Put your soul into it. I don't have a soul. Then find one, dummy. To be frank, I'm not sure what use I can be. Others seem to feel like I'm helping. If nothing else, I want to watch them. I want to help them as much as I can, and more than anything, I Really want to get to know them a little better. Even if it only means being a shoulder for them to cry on, that'd make me so happy. Maybe this is going too far for something that's supposed to be a job, but for some reason I have this strangest feeling. I feel like everything is only just beginning. Like this is part one of an episodic series or something. I see what you're thinking. Like after over 2 decades, this is where my life really starts. Aww. Aww. Spare Parts, Episode 1, Little Ribbon of Smoke. Aww. Oh, yeah, that was cute. I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, looking at their Steam pages, I think episodes 2 and 3 get like somewhat darker in tone, but yeah, I enjoyed this. I definitely want to play more of it. Or read more of it, I guess. It's like yeah, I'm definitely invested in these robots now. Not sure if I'm gonna stream episodes 2 and 3. I'm gonna think about that. I'm back. Really? Really? I wonder what this person on the right side of your screen is here. Must be another weird human or something. Sound of footsteps echo through the large chamber. The girl, who had been sitting silently in her chair, turns her head towards the source. She rises as the boy approaches her, and he places a hand on the top of her head. I'm sorry it took so long. I take it nothing exciting has happened while I was gone. That's good. Thank you for watching over them so dutifully. He pulls her in with his right arm, hugging her for a significant moment, and kisses the top of her head. She doesn't show any particular feelings about this gesture. I'm only stopping in for a moment, but I was successful. Everything is in a truck outside. Isn't that exciting? I wonder what we'll find in there. It could be something amazing, something unbelievable, something that could save you. Oh my gosh, there are more of these robots! Right? Probably? I apologize, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to start carrying everything inside. It'll take a while, so stay here and keep watch, okay? Okay. Thank you. I'll be back soon. Then we can talk more, alright? She nods her head so slightly he might not have noticed it were shoulder not nuzzled underneath her chin. He smiles. He pats her head once more, and he leaves. Wish somebody would pat my head. I'm a dork! The girl watches him go, even after she hears the door close behind him, separating. Beep boop. I'm not sure if it's funnier that I asked for that so brazenly or that it worked. Girl watches him go. After she hears the door close behind him, separating the two, she remains watching as if unconvinced. Moments passed. Surely, as those moments passed, he was upstairs, moving all the parts inside, one box at a time, all by his lonesome. As these moments pass, he comes closer and closer to returning. She finally looks away from the door. It was barely visible in this darkness to begin with. She returns to her chair and slowly turns her eyes back towards her duty. Two faces she sees. Two faces she watches intently. Remain, as they ever have, suspended in stillness, as if cut off entirely from these agonizing moments she must spend alone. To be continued in episode 2, Release Yourself from the Flame. Tip completed. And I've unlocked this option, which I might as well see what that is. I assume everyone has new bios at this point, so Lucy, our girl, earnest, hardworking, anxious, takes responsibility for things that have nothing to do with her, has an individually wrapped platitude for everyone she meets. Gotta love her! Likes her new friends, dislikes her own brain. Unit 01, the eldest of 4 siblings. She seems to handle all operations of the shop, but it's difficult to see how much that entails. Her one-mindedness is perhaps both her best and worst trait. Likes jokes, dislikes mistakes. Unit 02, the second of 4 siblings. Avoids talking whenever possible. Her scary demeanor betrays her sensitivity. Likes anime, dislikes conversation. Yeah! Unit 03, the third of 4 siblings. She does what she wants as much as she's able. Her energy explodes and bursts. Surprisingly sleepy. Likes secret she isn't on. Dislikes secret she isn't on. Aww. And Unit 04, the youngest of 4 siblings. A little hard to keep up with. Seems to have learned everything they know about the world through anime. Likes darkness, dislike shackles of the flesh? Question mark. Again, this one's a dork and they're delightful. But yeah, let's look at the last couple of things that unlocked. So this chat log. Status report. September 31st, 2020X, day 82. Overview. Unit 01, good. Unit 02, good. Unit 03, okay. Unit 04, fair. Data recovery 26%. Data encryption 74%. Oh, so there's been some actual progress then. Interesting. This past week marks the most significant changes in data to date. As such, this document will focus on compiling and addressing these changes and chart the sensible path forward. Please follow closely. Summary. Unit 01, exponential increase in EI core activity over the previous week. So if AI is artificial intelligence, is EI like emotional intelligence or something like that? Can be attributed to the appearance of the human, Lucy. Most significant spikes occur when in direct contact with Lucy. AI core, internal temperature, cooling systems, motor functions, all stable. Changes pose no significant risk on their own. Limited exposure to Lucy may facilitate continued EI germination. Risk assessment inconclusive. Proceed cautiously. Summary. Unit 02. Slight increase in EI core activity over previous week. can be attributed to interactions with Unit 03 and the appearance of the human, Lucy. Levels steady when separated from these two factors. AI core, internal functions, cooling systems, motor functions, all stable. Current changes pose no significant risk, but should be watched carefully. If allowed to continue, AI core may become unstable. Recommended to isolate. Summary, Unit 03. Exponential increase in EI core activity over previous week. Exponential increase in AI core activity over previous week. Exponential increase in average internal temperature over previous week. Exponential increase to cooling system strain over previous week. Exponential increase in motor function strain over previous week. All attributed to the appearance of the human Lucy. Critical alert, contact with Lucy cannot be allowed to continue. Isolation required. Oh dear! Summary, Unit 04. Significant stress on motor functions as a result of contact with the human Lucy. Recommended to remain inactive for the foreseeable future. Summary, Lucy. Since appearing before Unit 01, she has triggered significant adverse changes in Unit 01, Unit 02, Unit 03, and Unit 04. In addition, her continued breach of security endangers Unit 01, Unit 02, Unit 03, and Unit 04 externally. An ability to follow directions and an insistence on carrying out personal actions that do not consider all data present significant danger. While she may promote EI germination, it is not suggested to continue contact with her. Recommended to eliminate presence at once. Comment from Unit 01. It is my view that we will benefit greatly from an ally of the outside world. Lucy has already come close to discovering our nature. Pushing her away may risk further exposure. While some of the changes she sparked may at first appear troublesome, it is my belief that these changes will further our cause of safety and growth. Respectfully, nothing has changed before her arrival. The true path to ruin hides in complacency. We will forge ahead with caution. Coming from System, very well. And we've got another chat log. Date unknown. What are you doing? Hello? Answer me. Sorry, I'm a little busy right now. Did the plan change? Why did you do that? It's out of my hand. Sorry. Not acceptable. Tell me what you intend to do. It seems that I have to meddle more than I like. I think it'll suit you well enough. Explain. I'm not happy about it either, but I must play my role regardless. You are not explaining. There's nothing I can explain. As I said, it's out of my hand. Infuriating. Are you capable of feeling that way? Lol. Haven't forgotten our compromise. I'll figure out what to do. Please be patient. I am not comfortable leaving it to you, but I suppose I will for now. If you do not hold up your end, I will find a way to take what is mine. Do not fool yourself into believing I have any empathy for you. Likewise. Until we speak again. It's like, I'd wonder if that was the guy in his robot, but the guy in his robot seems to have a better relationship, so like, all right, let's see what this SP radio thing is. Done. Hi everybody, it's me, the love of the beautiful Unit 03! Hi everybody, it is me as well, Unit 01. Hey, come on, put a little more oomph into it, huh? Hi everybody, I'm Unit 01, oomph. That's better, I'll take it. Congratulations to you, the mysterious reader, for finishing episode 1 of Spare Parts. Congratulations. Thank you for taking the time. So, how was it? Was it good? Did you like it? What was your favorite part? Your favorite song? What was your favorite character? Just joking. Don't answer that one unless you know it's... Aww. Aww. Don't overwhelm them, 03. We haven't even introduced the segment. Oh, you're right. Sorry, everyone. I'm just so excited. Through all this time, we're happy to finally present episode one of Spare Parts. It's been a long process, but we're so relieved to finally be finished. Yes, all our hard work has paid off, and that we can finally rest a while. Yep, time for a long overdue vacation. Anyway, all that aside, we have to thank you again for choosing us in this very first edition of SP Radio. And you guess what the SP stands for? Not a clue. I thought this segment was called Spradio when I read the premise. Really? After every episode, the two of us will discuss new developments and other topics. I'm told it'll be entertaining. Because, well, we've got more planned, but we'll save that for later. Let's see. Let's get right into it then. So it was the first, so it had to set up a lot of things, didn't it? Yes. And that said, you could say the amount of progress made was infinite. You could argue none of us even existed before this, so I'm happy to finally be born. That makes one of us. Let's introduce the principal cast once more. Here's our protagonist, Lucy. Whoa, Lulu, I didn't know you'd be here today, and you're looking a little smaller than usual. Lulu? Hello, can you hear me? Hey, are you okay? If something's the matter, you know you can talk to... She's cardboard. What? All this time? I'm sorry to confirm that Lucy has always been cardboard and will always be cardboard. I guess we've got our share of skeletons in the closet, huh? She's a rather sheltered girl in some ways, but she's very earnest. It's only been a few months since she set out into the world. I suppose she is similar to us in that way, don't you think? Yeah, I mean, the narrative parallels are pretty obvious. I mean, you know, if you know the spoilers. We really call it spoilers at this point. It's not exactly a secret. Well, we haven't said it out loud yet, have we? I guess not. So it could be anything. Maybe I'm just wearing a green screen suit or some kind of full body tights with a pattern on it. I suppose you're right. Maybe it was a magic trick. It could be anything, so we can't confirm or deny the truth just yet. Very well. Let it be known that Unit 03 and Lucy are on the same level of deductive reasoning. That's right, I won't accept any criticism of either of us. Moving along, if we're following the proper order. You're next, Unit 01. All right, then, lay it on me. You're not going to introduce yourself? That would be a bit masturbatory, wouldn't it? You're not allowed to say that word. Anyway, she's tall and has red hair and red eyes and wears a lot of denim and never ever smiles and... Actually, I smiled a couple of times this episode. What? When? I was speaking with Lucy. No fair, you never smiled at me! Well, our shared screen time was rather limited, wasn't it? I'm off screen too. You haven't smiled in this segment. It's called radio, so it's just a name. They can still see us. Come on, give me a smile. She's trying so hard. Is that your smile? Hey, you can stop now. It looks like it hurts. Seriously, that's enough. You've made your point. I wasn't trying to make... Seriously, stop your... Wait, what did you switch? Let's continue. Next up is... Well, it should be obvious. Yes, if we're going in order, then it'd have to be her! Unit 03, you know how to count, right? Yeah, but that's not the order. 03 is a character you meet after a 1, right? Chronologically, she's next. Have you looked at the tip screen? It's ordered numerically. Wait, what? Let me see. Who's responsible for this? I'm stuck like this now. Please help. So hey, Flutters, nice to see you. I'll be wrapping up shortly, but still, glad to see you here. Well, we originally tried chronological order, but the discrepancy was bothersome. We had to change it. Bullshit, I want to talk to the director! Not allowed. Now then, let's talk about Unit 02. Alright, well, hope you've been having a nice lark then. You do whatever you want, I'm not conceding! I'm glad. I'm glad you can enjoy me being flustered. Is that not why people tune in? You've only met Unit 02 very briefly in this episode, and she's not the most forthcoming with details about her life. Unit 03, on the other hand, was the star of this episode and loves to talk about herself, so we know a lot about her already. But it's clear that she's on the antisocial side and has some matter of distaste for people she's not familiar with. But she's a beautiful social butterfly who will befriend the entire world. It may be some time before you discover what truly lies within her heart. But I hope you'll treat her kindly in the meantime. You want to know what's in my 03's heart? Here, take a look at it. I'll open it up and rip it out for you right now. Spoilers, remember? Right, sorry. Subject of Unit 03, it seems she has some hostility towards Unit 02. She started, if she wants me to be less hostile, maybe she should try praising me a few dozen times first. I wish she'd get along. Wish she'd be less of an asshole, but as for our next character. Right, Unit 04 is the best, no beef with them whatsoever. They're the most frail of the four of us. The specifics haven't been discussed. It's clear that they're the most sheltered and certainly the most vulnerable. Right, as much as I complain, 04 has it way worse. While I came around on letting you out of the basement, 02 can do what she pleases. 04 is not so lucky. Theirs is certainly a pitiful tale. Yeah, I don't know the whole picture, but even just a little bit I do know makes me count my blessings. Like, I guess it's hypocritical of me since I push so hard against your restrictions on me, but this sucks. I hate thinking about this. I hope everyone will look forward to their sad, pitiful, pathetic story next. Fools! What? Foolish imbeciles, you think me a worm, lesser even than the darts of a worm's midnight snack? No, of course not. No, never. I'll tear your imitation flesh asunder, rip you to pieces and consume your dregs for the mere pleasure of it. No, not my dregs. Hi, 04. I was wondering when you'd stop pretending. Huh? Yes, I couldn't abide by the conversation at hand, so I've made my appearance. Do not think me unaware of your pity. I won't stand for it. I apologize. I only said those things to draw you out. Huh? Oh yeah, me too. I was just teasing you. I suppose I can let you off with a warning this time then, but do not test your luck. I shall not show mercy next time. Understood. Thank you, Your Grace, but I'm glad you're here. Oh, is my assistance required for some purpose? You had better hope I find it worth my time. We're just about to enter the Q&A segment. Oh, yay! I've been looking forward to this. Question and answer, you say, and you have need of me for this? That's right, the people have questions after all, and I thought you might have answers. Yes, I see. Interesting. Very well, I'll amuse myself a short while longer. Yay! Thank you. Now then, since you're here, let's start with a question for you specifically. Oh, this should be juicy. Lay it on them. Make them hurt. Yes, yes, here this is. Unit 04, what's your favorite anime? That's it? What a softball! No, this question, it's devious. I'm expected to have simply one answer to this. It's as if you've asked me to choose my favorite circle of hell. Oh yeah, I couldn't choose something like that either. Well, let me see. Most recently, found myself yearning to return to the very first world I explored. Suppose that might still be my favorite. What? That trashy thing? I didn't know you still liked it. It is true, my tastes have matured since then, but call it nostalgia, I suppose. Nostalgia for a couple of months ago. You lot always fail to account for time dilation. Pardon me, but I don't know which one of you are talking. Ah, yes, my apologies. It's. Wait, are we even allowed to say it? Will we get in trouble? I think it should be fine for now. Change the letter to just in case. Well, all right. It was Bleach. 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 That was the first one we all watched together. 04 chose it because of the sword designs, right? I sensed something far greater than mere sword designs. 03. It taught me much about strength and death and swords. I guess that stuff must have come in after I gave up. Did not make it very far. 02 and I had to experience the rest of it ourselves. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I also fell off of Bleach after a single episode, after like an episode or two, but that was in my like that was in basically my like all the anime stuff I watch is just like just generic shonen anime stuff, and I'm sick of just generic shonen anime stuff like during that phase, so not make it very far. 02 and I had to experience the rest of it ourselves. Aren't there a few hundred episodes? Yes, each better than the last. Okay, now I know you're bullshitting me. I have a question. Yes, sister. I haven't watched anime. Should I? I cannot enter that for you. We must follow our own paths. All right then. Thank you for stopping by, 04. It was nice talking to you. Always a pleasure. Until next we meet, sinners. Bye! What do you think, 03, about anime? I mean, it's worth trying, I guess. Couldn't hurt, except, your productivity. What should I watch? I don't know. Ask Lucy. Does Lucy know about anime? Come on, it's written all over her. All right. Let's move on. How'd you all start dressing the way you did? Huh? Is there something wrong with how I dress? No, I don't think that was the intention. Well, good, because I'm cute as hell! And that's also her line of dialogue. Sorry, I had to. But to be honest, it was kind of hard to put this outfit together. We didn't have much to work with. Yeah, that's right. Our outfits were compiled from a few boxes of clothing that we found in this building at the time of our awakening. Right, we were nude otherwise. It probably would have been fine for you to remain that way theoretically, but I at least needed something to cover my body in public. And I just wanted to be cute! I'm not gonna live my life in the nude! Turned out to be the right choice, I suppose. Else our secret might be exposed by now. Well, considering it was Lucy, perhaps not. Hey, no criticism! I already said so! My apologies. Anyway, yeah, we could really only choose from what was in these few boxes. I don't know where they came from or whatever, but it was kind of fun trying on a bunch of different stuff. 04 figured their favorites out pretty quickly, but 02 was very resistant do anything beside loose-fitting stuff that'd cover her up. But we all had the same idea. We didn't want any snooping humans to discover our secret. Heaven forbid something like that would ever happen. Hey, you still better we owned your ass with our epic lies. Yes, that's it exactly. The epic lies have really gotten to me. Sorry, sis, but you're just gonna have to live with it. It will be difficult. Someday I want to go clothes shopping and pick out an absolute perfect outfit I can wear every day. A whole closet full of them. Perhaps someday. There's much more pressing matters until then. I really need to do more clothes shopping, honestly. My selection of girl clothes is like shockingly limited, and I need to change that. More pressing than upping my cuteness quotient, as if. Perhaps you could borrow some from Lucy. She seems to own more t-shirts than anyone else we know. I wouldn't dream of stealing her gimmick. What about you, O1? You already had the clothes on when I woke up for the first time. Me? Well, I got it from the boxes as well, so... Yeah, I know, but why those clothes specifically? Why these clothes? Why did I choose these clothes? Hey, you're not acting in character, are you? These readers are gonna get confused. Yes, my apologies. I just like them. There's nothing more to it. Question answered! I'm definitely not wondering if O1's gonna turn out to be transmask or anything. Next question, it's a rather long one. Let's see. I accidentally destroyed something. I don't want to say what it is or who it belongs to. It may have been O2's. Let's say it was O2's. How angry is she gonna be, like, hypothetically, if this belonged to her? What would her favorite and least favorite things to break be? Incidentally, this one comes to us anonymously. I wonder who could have sent it. Well, not me, that's for sure. And besides, this question assumes O2 owns any earthly possessions, period, let alone any she cares about. Guess maybe O4? Calling O4 a possession is a little... Hey, that's not me. That's just how O2 treats them. It's the only thing I can think of that she'd care about losing. Not even yourself. I'm definitely at the top of her favorite things to break list. I don't think that's true. Well, why don't we ask her? I'm sure she'll say the same thing. She's not available right now. That says it all. Can't even stand to be in the same room as me. Typical. This next one is for Lucy. I believe we can have her answer it for herself. Couldn't find a stock sound for that. Hello? Lucy, hello. Oh, it's just you. And me! Oh, and O3. What's up? Is something the matter? No, we were just hoping you could answer a question. We're recording SP radio right now. Huh? You mean people can hear me? That's right. You should have said so at the start! Why, is something the matter? No, it's fine. What's the question? Let's see. What kind of puzzle games do you like? What kinds? Let's see. Well, I should say I'm not all that good at them. Didn't you say you were? You were going to put it on a resume. I was getting desperate and I didn't think any employee would challenge me on something like that. Well, let's see. I'm not really good at combos, but I like getting game about organizing stuff. Can zone out for long periods of time just matching shapes and clearing lines or whatever. Any specific ones? Well, I started with Yoshi's Cookie as a kid, so I guess that one stands out. Yoshi? Isn't he the dead guy on your shirt? Something like that. I used to like him. Did he do something bad? Murder? No, it's not like that. It's just, never mind. God, I'm trying to remember my memes, and more specifically, I'm trying to remember if Yoshi's the one who did tax evasion. I want to say yes. Before you go, I have something to ask you, Lucy. Another question from you? That's right, it came up earlier. What anime should I watch? Lucy, are you alright? Sorry, I dropped my phone. Who told you about anime? I'm getting very confusing signals about this. Also, I just love the reaction of, who told you about anime? Like, who told you that was a thing that existed? What's her favorite? Favorite? And change a few letters. Right, I always come back to Fruits Basket. It was pretty formative for me, even though I watched it as a 19-year-old. I see, I'll keep that in mind. You're gonna watch? Thank you for your time, Lucy. I hope we weren't any bother. No, it's okay. Happy to help. Take care, you two. See you again soon. Okay, so I have not actually seen Fruits Basket. I wonder if the old anime or the new anime, if that is the one to watch. Bye-bye, Lulu. Bye-bye. You sure have a normal smile when Lucy's around. What? I smiled the same as before. Jerk! Next up, 01 and 03. It's just for the two of us. That's convenient. 01 and 03, what would you make for Lucy if she forgot her lunch? What would we make for her for lunch? I suppose so. So, food? It seems that way. Well, something cute, something that make her smile. Such as, what's a food? Oh, a pancake, I know that one! Just gotta flip it in the middle so it's pretty easy. How does it taste? Fucking, I don't know, good, I bet. What about you? A steak. Steak? Why a steak? I think she'd like a steak. Fair enough. Here's the final question. It's a two-parter. Where'd you like to travel if you could? Well, what's the second one? And what is your theory on consciousness? That those two aren't connected at all! Perhaps they are. Well, look, I'd be happy to travel anywhere. I don't know much about what's out in the world, so I'd love to even just leave the damn house. And I don't know what to say about that second one. What's a theory of consciousness? Just what it says, I imagine. What are your beliefs on the nature of consciousness? Well, I want to do it more. I'm tired of being unconscious. No, not quite like that. Let me ask you another way. What are you? Huh? That's spoilers, isn't it? Aside from that, fundamentally, what are you? But, I mean, I'm me, right? And what is that? I don't know. I'll give you my own thoughts. For example, the me that's sitting here right now, talking to you. Words I speak come from my body and it forms these words in response to thoughts and feelings which trigger that desire. So where do these thoughts and feelings come from? There are a lot of theories. In human science would suggest it's brain, and more spiritual perspective would answer something like the soul. So what do I believe? It's rather different for us, so it's much more complicated than choosing a school of thought and running with it. Even if humans have something like a soul, I'm not convinced that we do. Of course, so they're likely more akin to a brain. For us, that can mean many things. The sensors are artificial intelligence, essentially a reconstruction of the human brain. There is something more. More isn't there? After all, we're not like other. We're much more convincing, but is it really just an act? All of us may have different answers. Myself, I'm not sure just yet. Different from one another as well. It's possible you have something like a soul, whereas I do not. So what am I? Am I simply an artificial intelligence, just a substitute for the human brain, which grows en masse in nature? Am I simply an imitation of that existence? Or am I something else entirely, an evolution of human consciousness and that humans evolved from microscopic creatures to the ocean? We choose to believe in some god, one that created humans. Does that make me the child of another god entirely? Have humans achieved godhood and created me? In that case, what am I? I just don't know. There's yet so much yet for me to learn about my own existence. Can't say I have definitive answers just yet. So, what about you? What do you make of it? Huh? Poor Unit 03! This is going way over her head! I'm just a little cutie! And also, that was her line! There you have it, everyone. That'll do for this episode of Spare Parts Radio. We're gonna end it on that note! Once again, thank you all so much for reading. If you have questions of your own, feel free to send them to sophiecrystals@gmail.com. This is just the first episode of Spare Parts. The current plans call for several more, though we do not yet know the final number. At any rate, you can look forward to seeing lots more of us. Episode 2 will be titled Release Yourself from Flame. Release plans will be announced once they become clear. Please keep an eye out. Heard that 03 will take on an even more significant role next time. Huh? Really? Where'd you hear that? Places. What places? What? Where? I want to know! You'll find out. I want to find out now! Until next time, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Aw, she took my line for me. Yeah. See, hey, don't just run away after that saying that. Tell me! Okay, that little bonus bit at the end was cute. And yeah, that's gonna be it for my stream tonight. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Honestly, that was a delight. Like again, I want to look at episodes 2 and 3. 3 isn't all the way out yet, but it's out in early access. So I already know who I'm gonna stream, but let me just look to see if there's anyone else I want to call out. Sasquatchless is doing Barbie games. Let's see. Rachel is doing like various Wario games. So I think those are all the other people I especially feel like calling out, but like before the stream even began, I knew exactly who I was going to raid. And that's Proxy Glitchcat, because she is doing a 24-hour charity marathon. And it's like I can't in good conscience not send people over there. Over there, like Proxy is great. The cause she is raising money for is great. So yes, I'm gonna send y'all over there, and she's gonna be going until I think 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. So anyway, go watch that, and yeah, have a nice night, everyone, and please do take care of yourselves.